Hey y'all, I'm Larry the Fairy here to discuss the CrazyCap versus Larq UVC LED water bottles. So my Christmas gift to myself this year, I usually pick one semi-nice thing, and that's what I get myself every year for Christmas. Well, this year I was turned on to Larq, and so I decided that was what I was going to buy myself for Christmas, and learned that it was sold out everywhere. So I finally found it at Neiman Marcus online, ordered it, and about a week later I got an email that they've refunded my money because the product was actually out of stock. So I was super bummed. So I went online, I did research to find another comparable UVC water bottle and was shown CrazyCap. I watched hours of YouTube videos about it. Everyone says it's great. It's awesome. It's, the same or comparable to Larq. So I went ahead and got it. And it showed up in the mail. And of course I've personalized it with stickers. But it showed up in the mail and I was like, okay, cool. I like it. Whatever. And then about 4 days in, just from putting it in my backpack, which didn't have much else in it, there were scratches all over it. And so I was like, no, I'm not spending $100 on a water bottle that gets scratched up within the first week. So Amazon exchanged it out for me. They sent me a new one. I cared for the new one like it was a newborn. I didn't put it in my backpack anymore. I carried it everywhere. I was super careful with it. And then about 35 days in, once I passed the return point, I traveled with it to New Orleans, and it was sitting in a bag next to me on a bar stool, and a drunk girl walked up and moved the bar stool, and the water bottle fell out and hit the ground, and just with that one fall, completely destroyed the cosmetics of the lid. I was very upset about that because how can something be so fragile, but yet cost so much? And not to mention, they claimed that it would get rid of the stinky water bottle smell, yada, yada, yada. Well, after about 2 days, this bottle always smelled. I was constantly having to clean it in the sink, which was the whole selling point for getting it, was that it was a self-cleaning, sterilizing water bottle. Yet there I am every 2 to 3 days scrubbing it. Not to mention the battery life on it. It claimed to last a week, I think, when I bought it, but I found myself having to charge it every single night before I went to bed because it would always show orange. It is 25 ounces. And so then, about a month or so after Christmas, I got an email that Larq was back in stock. So I ordered the Larq, and it came very quickly. Very happy with the purchase. It's also 25 ounces. So these are both 25 ounces, but the comparison of the size is a pretty big difference. The Larq bottle just has like a classic clean feel to it, as opposed to the CrazyCap has more of a cheap look to it. And then when you compare the bottles side by side, for them to be the same amount of ounces, it's kind of crazy, the size difference. And I've had the Larq for 4 months now, and I'm happy to report there's not a single scratch on it. I did drop it last week, and if you look really close, there's a tiny little spot on the top, which I'm upset about, but it's still held up much better than the CrazyCap, and I rarely have to actually physically wash it because the UVC light works so well inside that it keeps it clean. Every now and then, I'll admit, like once every week or two, I'll open it up and, okay, it's time to wash it. And how I wash this is I just put hot water in from the hot water spigot at my work. I work at a restaurant. Fill it up, shake it, dump it out, boom. The smell's clean, the bottle's clean again. We go back to business as usual. Cute thing about Larq is they sell these cute little, I call it sweater. I don't know what they're calling it, a sleeve, whatnot. But it comes, you can buy this cute little sweater separately. So I keep it in the sweater at all times. And it keeps it protected on the outside. And it's got this cute little clip, and it came with a little carabiner on it. And I only have to charge it like once every 2 weeks. And I use this thing like crazy. Another thing I like about Larq versus CrazyCap is there's like a physical button you can click. And boom, it starts to work right away. With CrazyCap, there's no physical button. You just kind of tap the top and hope that it works. It works that time, but about 50% of the time you have to try several times to get it to work. So the two major differences I would say between the two are that the CrazyCap, you have to charge more and clean more, and it's much more fragile. And the Larq, you charge less, clean less, and so far I've had no issues with it getting damaged. So if I had to do it all over again, I would go with the Larq. And I'm sad that this one got its destruction 35 days after I got it, so I couldn't return it. So I've been stuck with it. But I have two now, so this one's my everyday take it to work, take it when I'm out running errands, cup. And this one is now my travel one that gets thrown in my suitcase and goes with me wherever I go, because I don't care if TSA confiscates it, which so far they haven't even asked me to take it out of the bag and check inside to make sure it was empty. And I travel quite often, so that's weird. But yeah, if this one got lost today, I wouldn't be very upset because I've got the Larq. And I can't wait for them to come out with more sizes and colors, because I'm definitely a Larq user for life. I have saved so many water bottles in plastic with this thing. I fill it up in airports, I fill it up all over, and just 2 taps of the button and boom, I've got clean, bacteria-free water. So when comparing the two, I definitely would lean towards Larq. This one is more budget friendly, but also you get what you pay for. So shell out the extra 20 bucks and get the Larq. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe and like down below, and we'll see you at the next video.